everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sonia Reece. I'm a spiritual mentor, teacher, and offer embodiment practices to embody spirit in all aspects of your life.
My name is Francis, and I do some spiritual work and spiritual healing, and glad to be here today. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the aspects of our work around the theme of divine union. And really, like in all aspects of life, what divine union means. I mean, first, obviously, we are as sovereign beings. We have access. We are made in the image of God, so the blueprint of the divinity is within ourselves. And so that divine union is really to really open ourselves up completely to spirit and letting spirit really come back down and percolate through all aspects of our being, and that's the embodiment part. And often, there's like impurities in the human experience, meaning like some traumas and some blockages, and then so there's like always like a lot of people do some spiritual work where they go up into spirit, and yes, we can tap into the absolute, but this work is really taking it down into our life, and then as spirit comes down through our system, it meets the block sometimes, and that's why we're here to help assist you to open up those blockages and understanding. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more understanding and guidance through the process, so that we can be fully expressed as divine beings that we are. And that means within ourselves first, and also really with everyone we meet in life, in our work, in our relationship. And so we do a lot of work with polarity and in terms of relationship, personal relationship, intimate relationship, and really in relationship with children, with your friends, with the people that we see on the streets, like anywhere, anytime you go to the gas station, you meet someone, and like how are you present in that moment? Are you like checking out or just like automatic, or are you really living that divine life? And what does that mean to be really fully here? And how do you want to express who you are, the individuality that who we are in that moment? And something else about relationship is really being sovereign and connected within our own being. So as we are independently, we in essence we need nothing, we need nobody in the absolute, meaning that we are made of spirit, but here in this human experience we are part of the whole of spirit, and that means like we are everyone in essence as well. So how to open up to everyone and everything while still remaining honest and authentic with our divine essence. So, and a lot of it means being defined within ourselves, like having our own sense of where am I, who am I, and from there relating with other people. And so having the strong sense of individuality and sovereignty, and then turning to here's another sovereign being, and she is totally unique and totally independent in her connection with spirit, but it's how we really open up to each other in a way that is complementary and honoring the full sovereignty of each other, and while being really engaged at the same time. And so it's a little bit like establishing that like, a little bit like the way I see it is like a triangle where we have we need to have two sides at the base of a triangle. So, and the top is spirit. So there's a point, and there's a point very definite. We are relating with one another, so we're conveying energies back and forth, and yet we are really rooted here. So it's almost like we're looking at one another at the same time. There's an awareness of spirit here. So I'm not losing myself. I'm connecting in my own flow with the divine, and acknowledging and seeing and honoring the divine flow within you, and relating and keeping that flow while growing at the same time towards spirit. So there's an evolvement, so we're evolving and constantly changing and moving, but it's almost like we're rooted in spirit, and that's like the anchor point. And so because we could have a very unhealthy and codependent relationship when there's just that polarity here.
Yeah, it's about the healing. It's about each person taking their unique journey to heal, and it is about connecting and finding that connection with spirit. first and foremost, really coming back to our own center and really learning what it's like to come back to our own center. And that's really embodiment. And so the embodiment of spirit, we can definitely reach, you can meditate all day, but if we're not allowing that energy to flow all the way in and really tap into our hearts, and then from there, like a tree rooted and grounded, allowing that energy to flow down to the earth, and then allowing the earth's energy to flow up, that's the alchemy of being in a body, that we're not just angels flying around, or we're not hiding out in a cave. And so we're here to embody ourselves, and when we feel that connection and that aliveness with spirit, we don't need anyone else, yet we're here in these bodies. And it's so beautiful when we can feel our hearts and connect with our hearts. And that's truly the divine alchemy of being in a divine union with someone else who is also, as Francis was expressing so beautifully, that we're both sovereign. We both have our own channel of spirit, and the third is this coming together and this polarity and this alchemy of when two sovereign beings come together, we have no conditioning, or it's not really there. It simply just falls away, and it's really about the love. It's really about the love and the communication and the trust, and feeling that connection with another person is the most beautiful thing in the world. That we can do this life and be in this life together. But when two people of polarity, of opposite polarity, and we're always dancing, I might be more masculine, but he'll rise in the feminine, and I might be I am innately feminine in the way I identify myself. And so we're constantly, there is this weaving of energy, that it's not a push and a pull, it's a weaving of our hearts. And there's a deep listening of honoring, of being completely listening and being guided, by our hearts in every moment, and supporting people and finding who they are. People may come to us for relationship coaching, and we work with people individually at first, and then they come together, when we've released the triggers and the beliefs and all of the systems, all the ways of relating from the past. And perhaps, it's from a soul level of coming into this lifetime with that trauma. And so it begins with self. It always begins with self, and it's an inside job, and it ripples out from that place. And then two people can come together and do the work, and disarmor, the trauma, and to heal. It's really a healing journey. Thank you for joining us today. Looking forward to seeing you in our next videos.